Alright, what's up y'all, it's LakerFan here. As y'all can see by the title of today's video, we're here to talk about the power of 5 shooting badges in NBA 2K21 Next Gen. We're here on my main build, the two-way slashing shot creator, 6'8" max wingspan. This build has 81 3-pointer and 6 shooting badges. Yes, I know the title says 5. It's very much so the same thing. We'll talk about that as we get further on in the video. Essentially, the badges that I'm going to be using in every one of these clips that you're going to see right here is gold hot zone hunter, silver catch and shoot, and bronze deep threes. Even for the deep threes that we have in this situation right here, I know it's not Curry range, but it's still about 4 or 5 feet off the 3-point line with only bronze deep threes functioning as this. Now, when we came into this beginning of 2K21 Next Gen, and I saw that everybody could literally get 90 plus 3-pointer, I was a little bit worried that 81 would be a bit inconsistent and that 5 shooting badges would be a little bit too low in comparison to the fact that everybody else could get around 15, 20, but I've been shooting perfectly fine from the corner, perfectly fine from the top of the key. And on top of that, I haven't had much dimer going for me at all when it comes to my teammate. The clips that I have right here with Joe are the only clips in this entire little mixtape slash like collage, if you will, of all the 3-point clips that I even had dimer on. And even at that, I'm shooting 60% from 3. We'll show you the numbers in just a second right here. You're going to see from the top of the key right here, they're just sagging off on me. They're hating on my 3-point ability. So I'm going to go ahead and just green from the top. I had a couple clips like this, but unfortunately, I wasn't able to get them in this video. I don't know why. They just didn't work. This Xbox stuff, as far as the next gen stuff, has really been irritating me with the game clip recording. But anyway, you can see in the exact same clip, boom, just green from the wing right there. Now, if you guys have some hawk eyes, you can see in this one right here, I'm shooting 0%. I'm the type of dude that looks at all this stuff when watching these jump shot videos and stuff, trying to see what people are actually shooting. Now, I'm shooting 0% in that one. You're going to see I hit the shot and it moved me to 50. So really that just means I was 0 for 1 before that shot. So just keep that in mind. And then with the next shot that I make right here, it's going to push me to 66 or 66.7, whatever you want to call it. Either way, you get the deal. This is a very reliable jump shot. I'm here to show you the jumper, all that stuff. So I hope y'all enjoy the video. If you do, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on them noties, all that good stuff. Let's try this one to 1K likes in the first 24 hours. Like I said, we're going to be dropping the jump shot, the badges that I use, the ratings, maybe explaining to you how you could make a build that has around 5 to 8 shooting badges as well, and then show you obviously the comparison and contrast when it comes to the builds that have 21 shooting badges with the Demigod power forward. You guys know the deal. So anyway, we're going to get straight into that. I hope y'all enjoy. So for anybody who's new, here's the exact build: 21 finishing, 6 shooting, 18 playmaking, 27 defense, small forward, 6'8", 230 on the weight, 7'6", aka max wingspan. So a quick look at the badges. I'll come back to this in a little bit for the people who want the full experience of my advice, but real quick, I'm just going to skim through everything to go ahead and set you guys up for something that you might want if you don't want to watch the entire video. So you can see at all times I'm going to be rocking gold hot zone hunter and then bronze deep threes. Now if you're somebody that the title applies to and you only have 5 shooting badges, you can go ahead and use the bronze catch and shoot. I feel like it's perfectly fine. Or if you want to restrict yourself to just corner threes, you can easily put bronze corner specialist or have the silver catch and shoot on and take off the deep threes. Now what I do want to tell you guys, if you haven't made your build yet and you plan to play anything like me, I will say 12 shooting badges would be very comfortable if you could go ahead and use things like gold catch and shoot, gold deep threes, and then have a little bit of maybe extra things like hot shot that are super effective in this game that boost your takeover. I would say 12 shooting badges is a very comfortable range, but 5 shooting badges, 6 shooting badges is still extremely manageable when it comes to being effective. It's just you don't get the boost of things like hot shot, and you can't be super extravagant with the deep threes off pick and pops going super deep. But as you saw in the clips, it's still very possible to be shooting from somewhat deep. And then here's a look at my most recent 50 games as far as the park goes. So you can see we're shooting 54% from left corner, 61% from right corner, 50% from both the wings, and then 50% as well from the top, 57 actually from the left wing. But either way, you get the deal. The shooting has been great as far as this build goes, and most of this is off no dimer. I just got to keep you guys with that in mind. So as for the jump shot animation itself, we got my boy Z, aka Zernick, on YouTube. I'm going to put his link in the description as well. He's the one that provided me this jump shot. I straight up just tuned into his stream on day 1 of the game, asked him what his jump shot was because this dude was sparking these threes like crazy with no badges in Rookieville. So I was like, yo, let me see that jump shot. So anyway, again, shout out to Zernick, my boy Z. It is 100% Dante XM, base, release, everything, max speed on the jump shot as well. Now, I don't know if I'm the one who's experiencing this. I'm sure everybody else is as well. When you max the jump shot speed, it doesn't exactly feel like max jump shot speed. Honestly, it still feels like 75%. There was just a visual glitch when it came to like the first 4 days of the game, and it would just reset to 75%. But now it shows max jump shot speed, but I still feel like 75% speed. So anyway, it'll probably be something 2K patches down the line. If you're watching this a little bit down the road, like maybe 2 weeks after, I might have maxed this jump shot speed out and it may be functioning / shooting at a little bit faster rate. So just keep that in mind as well for anybody who's watching too far down the line, maybe like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. But anyway, this is the jump shot right here. So now let's talk a little bit about the sacrifices you can make with a build like mine, and then I'll also talk about a build that might have just more shooting badges in general by default. So we'll talk about that in just a second. But you can see 6'8", small forward, 230 on the weight, max wingspan. All this stuff factors into the shooting to where even max three-pointer and max mid-range only gives you 5 shooting badges. So I go ahead and just tick the free throw up until 29 to where I get 6. However, if you're somebody who doesn't really care too much about the playmaking stuff, you don't expect the ball to be in your hands too often, obviously you can take the playmaking off to some extent, where you just take lower pass accuracy and then you have something comfortable to where you can at least run the dimer and floor general if you want to, and then put this into free throw where you get more shooting badges. But either way, 6'8" with max wingspan feels a little bit uncomfortable to have anything more than 6 shooting badges in my opinion. Because at 6'8", you're flat out in this situation where you have a lot of sacrifices you have to make that I really would not want to if I were you in the first place. Pass accuracy and bullet passer type stuff like that, Hall of Fame on bullet passer, dimer, floor general, I think is super important. And even if you're a role player who's just spotting up in the corner most of the time, honestly, to be able to run Hall of Fame floor general is still major key, and same with the dimer as well, and bullet passer on 2s, and just to be another ISO option to where you can at least pass the ball to when your teammate is wide open and get it there quickly to where they can shoot it is very important. And personally, I feel like this is a sacrifice that I would not want to make if it were me, but again, that's all because I'm 6'8" with max wingspan. We'll go ahead and show you guys the difference of having a smaller height and a smaller wingspan and how much easier it's going to be for you to have your shooting badges that way. So this is completely aside the point of the video because obviously we're here to talk about the power of 5 shooting badges, but if you're somebody who wants more shooting badges, obviously I just want to steer you guys in the right direction with this Demigod power forward build right here. 6'7", for whatever reason you get Hall of Fame quick first step. It really makes no sense at all. With this comes a different sacrifice. So you're going to have the low interior defense, low steal, and low strength as well to be able to make all this stuff work. And this is why I don't prefer this build as far as my own preference. But if you're somebody who wants the shooting badges, you're going to have to sacrifice in the areas of having like 10 less finishing. If you want to have less playmaking, I suppose, but again, me personally, I would prefer to have bullet passer, dimer, and floor general in Hall of Fame and to not have super low pass accuracy. But if you're somebody who doesn't care about that stuff in the first place, I suppose you could go ahead and maybe max out something like strength as well. Keep all that in mind. Again, this is just me showing you guys what you're capable of with this type of a builder system, but it can be a little frustrating when working with this power forward right here if you want to be a well-rounded player that has good steal, good interior defense, good pass accuracy, but not everybody can be a 100% demigod. That's just how it works in this game. So to get us back on track with the more, I would say, limited shooting badge build, if you will, with the small forward, super long wingspan, pretty much the slasher lockdown oriented build that has a little bit of shooting in it, which is going to be the comfortable level that you saw in the video. So with that in mind, 6 shooting badges. If you're somebody who wants around 8, you're going to be able to make one of these 2 tweaks. So you can either have no steal rating and you drop the 3 defensive badges right there and have the ability to get no pickpocket, interceptor, stuff like that. And the reason I have it at 84 is just for that reason right there. You can get the Hall of Fame interceptor. And for anybody who's curious as to why 84 perimeter defense, again, it's just to be able to get these badges right here on Hall of Fame. Honestly, they're not the most important ones in the first place. If you really wanted to, you could drop the perimeter down to about 80 and you'd still be fine as long as you get that gold clamps. You do not want anything less than that gold clamps though. Promise you that. It's probably the best defensive badge in the game. Anyway, take the steal off 100%. You'll be able to get 8 shooting badges. Again, you can put a little bit of these ratings somewhere else, but keep in mind, that's pretty much how the max amount of shooting badges are going to go, at least in my opinion, when it comes to having a pretty well-rounded build. 8 is probably the max. So we'll go ahead and show the playmaking as well. So with all this in mind, you're going to see the reason that I decided to go with the 6 shooting badges. So I take everything I can reasonably take off when it comes to the playmaking, because if I go any lower than this and end up with like literally no dimer, no floor general, what's the point of even having these playmaking badges in the first place? So I'd like to have the 9 playmaking, and just like that, 8 is pretty much the max. Now, if you take this off entirely, you become pretty much irrelevant when it comes to a secondary ball handler, where you're going to have quick first step as your only playmaking badge. You're not even going to be able to pass to wide open people because it's just flat out not going to be fast enough. And then just like that, you can have the 15 shooting badges. Again, this is all up to you guys to decide on, but with the feedback that I'm going to leave you in this video of the power of 5 shooting badges or 6 shooting badges, I think something like this is very usable, and you saw it with the clips that we showed at the beginning of the video. So it is what it is. If this is going to help you guys decide on your build when you get the game, whatever that may be, and if you're watching this and you haven't made your build, or you're somebody who did make my build and you're kind of insecure about having the 6 shooting badges, you're not sure whether it's going to work or not, listen, I'm here to tell you guys, you get your hot zones and stuff like that, you run gold hot zone hunter, and then you just run bronze catch and shoot, bronze deep threes, and then anything extra if you have the 6 shooting badge instead of the 5 right here, then you're perfectly fine. So I wanted to make this video to show you guys the power of the 5 shooting badges, but also reassure anybody who made my build that you can shoot, and then as well show anybody who's watching this that hasn't made their build yet that you can make this and be a viable shooter in this game. Because honestly, a lot of people are talking about the one thing I'd really doubt with this build is the interior defense rating or even the close shot, like that these are unavoidable things. I feel like they're very avoidable. One thing I didn't know, and honestly my biggest doubt with this build, was whether I'd be able to shoot with 81 3-pointer or not. Because yeah, it sounds all great when you have the 81 3-pointer, but there has to be some kind of catch to it, at least I thought, to where everybody in this game has 90 plus 3-pointer, and I was thinking like, what if they make it hard to shoot with 81 3-pointer, like on current gen essentially, where builds with 80 3-pointer, like 75 are getting left in the dust and really couldn't even shoot when they were wide open. It's not the case like that. I want to reassure all you guys that that is not the case, and to be able to run things like gold hot zone hunter and then a little bit of catch and shoot, a little bit of deep threes, you're perfectly fine. Or if you're somebody who just wants to spot up in the corner, go ahead and just run the gold catch and shoot and gold hot zone hunter. It's really as simple as that. And if you want to have maybe a couple corner specialist points in there instead of the catch and shoot, it is what it is. Anyway, that's all for the video. Hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on the noties, all that good stuff. Let's try this 1 to 1K likes in the first 24 hours. And if you made it to the end of the video, put shooting in the comments to show your support you made all the way through. Other than that, hope y'all enjoyed, and let me know if you want to leave any feedback as well, if you feel like you have been able to shoot well with the 6 shooting badges that you made with this build, if you copied my build, so that anybody in the comments can look through the comments as well and see that not many people are struggling, or if they can see that somebody at a lower, I would say, like rate of playing and less activity. I don't want to say lack of skill, because honestly I feel like a lot of you guys are probably just as good at shooting as I am, to be completely honest with you guys, because I really don't feel like I'm the most skilled shooter when it comes to 2K21 or just 2Ks in general. But maybe that's just because I'm not on a build that can shoot very often, and with this one actually being able to shoot, I'm actually pretty capable. But anyway, go ahead and leave your feedback in the comments. Let me know if you guys have been able to shoot very well when it comes to having 6 or 5 shooting badges on your build as well, or if you're even struggling if you have like 20 shooting badges. Anyway, that's all for the video. Hope y'all enjoyed. Other than that, take it easy, man. Peace.